friends, welcome to Bookish Bliss, our virtual book club. Every week we will dig into a section of chapters in our favorite books. Let's get started!
Hey book besties, and welcome back to Bookish Bliss for episode 74. We have a lot to discuss today.
We are starting our journey through Sarah J. Maas's Heir, Fire, and this week it's all about chapters 1 through 13, so you don't have to read the entire book, but you do have to be caught up on the chapters we are covering because we are going full spoiler mode.
Woo!
Amanda, darling, what are you drinking tonight?
Back with my pamplemousse. I hope that's how you say it. Nobody told me otherwise, so pamplemousse it is.
Pamplemousse it is.
How about you, darling? What are you drinking tonight?
I'm just having a good old glass of water in my pink glass because it is hot, hot, hot outside today.
Mm-hmm.
Which
means... It was like 100 degrees an hour ago, and it's 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Which means, you know, my second floor apartment is spicy up here.
I'm sweating for you.
I have, with this bright light on me, I did shut off all the other lights because I think it would be too much. I have a fan blowing at me and also the air conditioner blowing at me because it is the air conditioner at 64, it is 80 degrees in my apartment. The insulation is shit.
We'll get you a cooler box.
Yeah. Get me a cold plunge. I can just jump in every once in a while.
Good idea, Megan.
I know. I am missing Urban Sweat so much. And after the fucking weekend I had, one, we should be drinking alcohol. And two, I need to lay in my sweat and just be relaxed because I am an angry little ball.
Not at me, thank God.
No. Yeah. I'm never mad at you.
I was going to say, have you ever been mad at me? I don't think so.
No.
Good.
Have you ever been mad at me?
I don't think so.
All right. I'm going to cheers you because I'm thirsty and I want to take a sip of my water. So cheers to episode 74, Bookish Bliss, and part 1 of Heir, Fire. Woo!
Yay! Cheers!
I think we do have some shout outs for the Discord.
Yay! New members!
So we have Sage, whose name is Stack of Pancakes, and I'm going to mispronounce this. Fazuli? I don't know, but thank you for joining. She's tuning in from Sweden when she introduced herself.
Oh my God, how cool! That's right!
Yes, we are international, baby. I can't tell really on YouTube, like the analytics on there is just like kind of weird to me, but Spotify, like I have down to a T. And I think, what did I say the other day? We have been streamed in 24 countries, I think.
Wow, I don't remember.
Something like that.
Telling me, but I don't remember the number.
Which is 10 more that we've gained in 2025 than we had in 2024. So,
yay!
How exciting! So, if you are from another country besides the US, where we're from, make sure you comment and tell us where you're from.
Yes, tell us. We want to know, and we want to come visit you.
Yes.
We love traveling.
We do love traveling. But I think that's all I have in bookish news. Not much is going on since my exciting ACOTAR 6 update, so.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was like the update of all updates, though.
Yeah. I don't need anything more until then. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I am a liar because I do have something to say. Rebecca Yaros posted in her story that she was on vacation. And since she was in a different writing spot, in a different writing office venue, she's writing a bonus scene. Yes! Love a bonus scene.
I know. I love a bonus scene. I can't wait to read it.
I know. It's basically a scene from what we can see in little snippet between Xaden and Garrick. And basically, Garrick is warning Xaden, are we going to do this? This is going to fuck up everything that our parents stood for. And Xaden's like, yep. And it's like, let's go hunt some wyvern then. So I'm thinking, and I've seen a few other people have these theories, that maybe it's a snippet bonus scene from Iron Flame when Violet is being held captive.
Okay, yeah.
And they're going to go drop some wyvern throughout the area to cause a scene.
Navarre?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of our... I was like,
The area?
My my head is in like literally Throne of
I
Glass
know.
and
I
Crescent
know.
City right now that I'm like, what is Fourth Wing? My head is not in the Empyrean world brain right now.
I know.
I'm
Well,
like
we don't have to
fully,
be.
yeah,
We
I'm
have
fully
time.
focused in the Massverse at the
That's
moment.
right. Same. Well, with that, how about we get started with the good stuff
Yeah,
and break down Heir of Fire Part 1, baby.
I'm so excited to be starting this book.
I'm
It's a good
so
one.
excited. I love Throne of Glass. Like, I love this series so much.
Yes.
Yay! Although I
Yay!
do have to say, it was pretty hard to remember after Assassin's Blade what is going on. Like, I
Mm.
had to really think about it because, I'm like a little space cadet here. So.
Well,
So if I forget anything and Megan has to remind me, please forgive me.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Part 1, Heir of Ash.
Mm.
Honey.
Sunday.
Chapter 1. Baking under the sun on a terracotta roof, Selena, 2 weeks into her journey, found herself in Versailles, the capital of Wendlin, as ordered by the king of Adarlan. She was sick of the oniony flatbread Tegya, but had run out of money, so she resorted to stealing the bread and wine. The sight of the castle and its elite guards made her reconsider assassinating her assigned targets. She nursed a split lip and scraped cheekbone from her fight the previous night, her head throbbing from dehydration. Selena had meticulously observed the guards' rotations and the castle's three massive gates, concluding that the Ash Rivers took security extremely seriously. Thoughts of Nehemia calling her a coward ignited a fierce resolve. Amidst her grief, rage, and thoughts of Kale and her losses, she solidified a new mission to find and destroy the word keys that powered Adarlan's empire. She believed it would take a monster to destroy a monster. The only one in Aurelia who knew the ancient history of the word keys, wielded by conquering demons and hidden for millennia, was Queen Maeve of the Fae. Step 1 of said plan: seek out Maeve for answers, then return to Adarlan. This was the least she could do for Nehemia and countless others. Another pressing task lingered, preventing the king from executing Kale or Nehemia's family, a threat if Selena failed to retrieve Wenland's naval defense plans and assassinate its king and prince at their midsummer ball. Wetland was a land of myths and monsters, of legends made flesh, a land of opportunity where doors were unlocked and people smiled. It had taken Selena 4 days to reach Versailles, her mother's birthplace. Rumors claimed Wendland Knight soldiers were ruthlessly trained by the Fae. Selena was still haunted by Archer Finn's blood and Kale's horror upon learning of her Fae heritage, wondering if he deciphered her dockside riddle. She noted the pervasive goodness of the Wendellite guards and officials, mirroring the goodness of Crown Prince Galen Ashriver. She thought again of Nehemia, who would have loved the vibrant, fragrant markets of Wendlin, a place she would never see. Selena pondered how to find Maeve. Her observations were flawless until she noticed a daily gap in the southern wall's defense at 2 p.m. This was where Galen Ashriver rode through, cheered by crowds, heading off to fight Adarlan, embodying hope and freedom. Selena felt a surge of hopelessness. She was just one person, and even Galen's armada barely made a dent against Adarlan. She had yet to see any Fae or magic, actively avoiding magic wielding areas as she felt a strange trickling awakening in her gut when exposed to its energy. Her thoughts drifted back to Kale's role in Nehemia's death. Despite their broken bond, she couldn't part with his ring, always recovering it even after losing it in card games. A vagrant shooed Selena away, mistaking her for one of her own kind. Selena, filthy, reeking, and in ripped clothes, felt she had reached an all-time low. From the shadows behind her, a deep male chuckle echoed. Ooh,
Ooh.
new man's.
New
I don't know.
man's.
I don't know about him yet, but we'll see. So, lots of information here. We know now Selena's in Wenland. There's magic and mystery and myths and legends, and it's all coming to light here in Wendland.
Yes.
We meet Galen. Well, we don't meet
Meet
him, but
him.
we see him for the first time.
From afar, yes.
Yeah, from afar. All the people love him, and he embodies freedom
Yes.
and hope. So that's really good for Wenland. Hopefully, we can carry that over to Adarlan. eventually.
Eventually.
So Selena has a new plan in place. She's still thinking about Nehemia and Kale. She's still wearing his ring. Even though she's bet it off a few times, she wins it back, recovers it. She can't let it go. We have a new mission on our mind to find and
Yes.
destroy the word keys that powered Adarlan's empire. And there's only one lady that was alive during all of that drama going down with the word keys being made. And that's Queen Maeve.
Yeah.
So, Auntie Maeve, we need to go
Auntie
find
May.
her. While also preventing the king from executing Kale and Nehemia's family, because that's part of the deal. If she doesn't do what he says, he's going to kill them. But
Mhm.
obviously, she's not going to go through with what the king thinks she's going to go through with. So,
No.
we got to figure out a way to save the fams.
But she's just a drunk mess right now. Is she going to do anything at all?
I don't know. We'll see, I guess. She's at least figuring out the soldiers and their schedules and when they open the gates and stuff. So, she's playing half assassin here.
She's the slowest moving person I've ever met in my life when it comes to her trying to figure things out.
I know. She really is. But she's like fucking a child still, so.
Yeah, by the time she starts putting the pieces together, she's like, oh, I have to fight for my life at the same time.
Yeah. Literally. It's always too late when she finally kicks her ass in gear.
Yeah.
She gets fucking mistaken by a homeless person, so hopefully that wakes her ass up.
Yeah, she's hit an all time low.
Yeah. Then we hear a deep male chuckle.
Hmm.
Introduce us to this male, Megan.
All right, chapter 2. The male, because man didn't quite suit a fae, was approaching, and Selena was in shock. After 10 years of burning and executions, a fae male prowling towards her felt like something out of a nightmare. The others in the alley fell silent as he neared. He was tall, broad shouldered, every inch of him corded with muscle and radiating power. His hair was silver, his ears pointed, and his canine sharp. A tattoo etched down the left side of his face marked him further, not just decorative, but written in the Fey language. The markings flowed over his jaw, down his neck, and disappeared beneath the cloak he wore. Selena noted that he might have been handsome, if not for the promise of violence gleaming in his pine green eyes. Gripping her dagger, she instinctively reached for the eye of Elena, only to remember she had given the necklace to Kale. She had wanted an audience with Queen Maeve, and now here stood one of Maeve's elite warriors. He sniffed the air, not because she smelled bad, though to be fair she did, but because he was confirming her identity. She couldn't afford for this Fae male to blow her cover. If Galen Ashriver found out she was in the city, he'd be on high alert with every guard mobilized. So she played it off, pretending she planned to meet him on the outskirts of the city, and all he said was, "Let's go," before turning and disappearing back down the alley. It was a reminder all Fae had secondary animal forms. Selena, currently in her human one, found herself wondering what his might be.
Me too.
She teased him, calling him the broodiest warrior she'd ever met. If they were going to travel together, she figured she should know more about him. He disagreed. According to him, she already knew all she needed to know from their brief exchange. His name was Rowan, and he was taking her to a place where she had been summoned. Selena knew she needed to speak with Maeve. She could almost hear Queen Elena's voice in her head urging her to do what needed to be done. Rowan didn't speak as they traveled. He didn't ask where she'd been for the last 10 years. They rode in silence. If he was as old as she suspected, she was barely a speck of dirt to him. He could probably kill her without a second thought, and somehow that didn't unnerve her as much as it should have. Shoot.
I wonder why.
So, not too much about Rowan in this chapter, just kind of getting a description of what he looks like: silver hair, tall, muscled,
Green
tattoo down the left
eyes.
side of his face, pine green eyes,
Mmm.
handsome, but has violence in his face.
He sounds like a yummy one.
He does. I love a yummy female.
Mm-hmm. With the darkness in the eyes is like the cherry on top.
Yeah, a promise of violence? Sign me up.
Literally.
But not in real life.
No,
Maybe.
not in real life.
Oh my
Just in
gosh.
the books.
When I sent you that Instagram reel this morning, when the guy
Oh my god.
proposes to his girlfriend, like pretending to be kidnapped, like in
I
a
showed
dark
I
romance.
showed the only two other girls that work with me. And they were dying laughing. It was so
Oh my
funny.
god. I was like, I literally cannot. Yeah, so she's been summoned by Queen Maeve, which is a good thing because I guess because that was a part of her plan. So step one,
Yeah.
go see Maeve is kind of underway, even though it
Yeah.
wasn't of her own accord of doing this and seeking
Right.
out Maeve. Maeve is coming to her by having Rowan come and fetch her from being a smelly homeless lady in the streets of Wendlin.
Yeah.
And now they're off. They're about to go on an adventure together.
They're off to see the wizard. Just kidding.
They're off to see Maeve.
The wonderful Queen Faye.
Is she wonderful?
Probably not. It was just part of the song. Okay.
Okay. I guess the Wizard of Oz is also not wonderful.
True. Fitting.
Is
Fitting,
there some
actually.
foreshadowing?
Chapter 3, we get a Kale POV.
Oh, lucky you.
Yay! For a month, Kale had been plagued by a reoccurring nightmare. Selena brutally murdering Dorian, his best friend, with a dagger. In this dream, Selena, his lover, morphs into an ecstatic queen, delighting in the death of her true enemy, the Haviljard Empire. Waking, Kale finds Dorian across the Great Hall, aware that Dorian senses his preoccupation with Selena, a topic Kale desperately avoids. Kale shifts the conversation to his father. He's returning to Aniel with him, a condition of his father's support in sending Selena to Wedlin, a sacrifice Kale made to protect the woman he loves and her secrets. Dorian, having heard rumors, is surprised by the confirmation. Though he acknowledges he and Kale aren't enemies, a rift exists over Kale's unilateral decision to send Selena away. Kale, in turn, is tormented by Selena's declaration that he will always be her enemy after his role in Nehemia's death was revealed. He grapples with the truth of her identity, Aelin Ashriver Galanthinius, his and Dorian's mortal enemy, and the implications of this revelation. Dorian senses Kale's distress, but Kale remains tight-lipped, unwilling to add to their shared secrets, particularly Dorian's magic, which they haven't discussed since its emergence. The tension in the Great Hall intensifies with the arrival of Adian Ashriver, Selena/Aelin's cousin, and the king of Adarlan's ruthless general of the north. Adian embodies every warrior rumor, possessing the same distinctive Ashriver eyes as Selena. Kale immediately notices a black ring on Adian's finger, identical to those worn by the king, Parrington, and others under their control, explaining the king's tolerance for Adian's insolence. Both Kale and Dorian find him insufferable, with Dorian recalling meeting Adian and Aelin during a childhood visit to Terrasen. Adian, Dorian, and Kale exchange sharp jabs. Kale catches Dorian staring at Adian, specifically at his eyes. It's revealed, through Kale's POV, that Adian has shed the blood of his own Terrasen people, wielding the Sword of Orinth, a family heirloom rightfully Selena's, gifted to him by the king upon his first victory, making its use against Terrasen citizens a profound insult. Adian shrewdly picks up on the tension between Dorian and Kale, suspecting a woman, the king's champion, is the cause, and expresses a desire to meet her, though she's conveniently away. Adian then provocatively brings up recent killings of a witch clan, matron, on the property, asserting his right to know when power brokers of the realm meet their end. Kale dismisses his concern. As the air crackles with magic, Kale, sensing danger, quickly guides Dorian out. Kale is relieved that Adian narrowly missed his long-lost cousin. He dreads the possibility of Adian discovering Aelin's true identity, her survival, and her newfound knowledge of the king's secret power, uncertain if Adian would protect or destroy her. He desperately wants Adian's kept far away from her. Kale checks on Dorian's magical stability, which Dorian admits varies with anger or fright capable of setting it off. Kale reassures Dorian that his top priority has always been and remains his protection. Dorian, however, presses him on the true reason he sent Selena to Wedlin, but Kale only states that he sent her to do what needs to be done. Another long one for me.
Wow.
But it's my man, so I'm okay with it. Kale is having this fucking crazy dream,
Yeah.
but he's like sleeping at a table in front of Dorian, and
Is he
Dorian,
like daydreaming or dreaming?
I think he fell asleep because it says he woke up.
Because he's tired.
Yeah. Dorian obviously knows right away. He's like, "Ugh, this motherfucker is thinking about Selena again." And they still can't talk about it with each other, which is
I know.
interesting.
I know.
Can't wait to see how that plays out.
Mm.
Kale confirms to us that he is actually going to Aniel with his dad. I mean, that was
Yeah.
the deal, and he's sticking to it.
I mean, he is a man of his word.
He is. And Dorian's actually surprised, but, he's like, whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, our
He's
friendship
pissed.
is
Like,
on the fritz, anyways.
literally, yeah, he's pissed that Selena is in Wedland and he wasn't included in the decision,
Hmm.
which I kind of understand why he wasn't. He doesn't obviously know the secret, but at the same time, I can see how he would want to be because he obviously loves her too. So,
Yeah, and they all like know so much together. And
yeah,
I feel like Dorian and Selena really bonded over Dorian having magic
yeah.
and figuring that out together and then looping Kale in. It's just
Hmm.
that interesting that they never looped Dorian in about Selena and who she really is. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's to protect Dorian from his
right.
father. But I mean, he already has a secret of having magic that he's keeping from his father. Like, why not also be let in on this? But
Yeah.
whatever.
I know. I think actually she really didn't even tell Kale. She
No.
like gave him a Easter egg and he
Yeah.
figured it out. So like
Yeah.
I kind of understand her point of
Yeah.
view here.
It's not
I
like
feel
she
like I
told
wouldn't tell him
Kale
either.
straight out, like I'm Aelin
Right.
Asher Galathinius.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Dorian does notice the
The eyes.
similarity between Adian and
Selena.
Aylin's eyes.
Yeah,
So that was interesting.
for sure.
Adian, he has a fucking black ring. He is her cousin, but kills people with the sword that should be rightfully Selena's,
Mhm.
their own people. I already don't like him. I can't believe that they haven't discussed the magic yet, though.
Like
Especially,
Dorian's magic?
yeah, like Dorian and Kale together, because
Yeah.
instead they haven't talked about it since it happened.
Yeah.
But like, he obviously can't control it. Like, he needs to train it or like
Yeah.
somehow figure out what he's gonna do.
I know. I just feel like both of their prides are just hurt, and neither of them
Hmm.
wants to bend to like help the other, even though they're still kind of there for each other. I feel like they're just in this weird limbo in their friendship, and someone has to bend.
Yeah, and I feel like the only way they're gonna get over it is if they tell Dorian the truth. So,
Yeah.
but we'll
Because
see if that happens.
Dorian knows that there's things being kept from
Oh,
him.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dorian's not going to be the one to bend here.
No, I don't think so.
It's not in his personality to bend either.
Yeah, no, no. So Selena was sent to do what needs to be done.
What a good answer.
Yeah, and we left it off at that for now. They'll continue to feud.
Yes. Chapter 4, we have a new POV from a brand new character in this book, Manon Blackbeak, aka I call her Manon. That's just what I called her when I read the book, and I just can't stop saying that. But for this podcast, I will call her by her actual name.
I just learned that it was Manon, like literally minutes ago.
I knew it. I just don't like saying it.
She would have let me say it wrong the whole time.
We open her chapter with her hiding in a closet wearing a blood red cloak. 3 men from the village had broken into her home trying to kill her. She wondered when they would work up the nerve to come here. It always happened in every village that she went to. She had spread around that she was a Kraken witch. She sold potions out the back of her house and charms and could predict the sex of a babe before it was born. Now they were scared of her. The other 2 men were looting the house, thinking it belonged to her, but she had moved into this house and all the items were already there. She kept a go bag in the closet, but she had a motto: take nothing with you and leave nothing behind. The man in her bedroom had a knife behind his back, and he told her to come out, little Kraken witch. Manon had snuck up behind him without him even knowing and told him that was the wrong kind of witch. She smiled, and her iron teeth snapped into place, and her iron nails as well. She then ripped his throat out. She went to the other 2 men and killed one and let the other one run and get a head start. We learned that she was the heir to the Blackbeak witches. She was in the village trying to flush out any real Kraken witches to kill them. Her first kill had been at 16, and she still wore the cloak of the Kraken witch she killed 100 years later. The Kraken gave their witches their blood red cloaks when they had their first bleeding, but it just made them easier to find. She enjoyed hunting them down. She was on a rotation here, and others of her kind were spread out across Aurelia hunting them down as well. But since she hadn't found any yet, these men had been the most fun she'd had. She found the other man lost in the field, and she let his screams go on loudly.
Oh. She seems like a crazy bitch.
Yes. So it's our first little introduction. We knew the witches were going to come into play in this book. So we get a nice little introduction to one of them, of the Iron Teeth witches from the
Hmm.
Blackfeet clan, because we know that there's a few clans within the Iron Teeth, and then the other set of witches, which is the Kraken witches. There was that big witch war, and which we heard more about in Assassin's Blade with
Hmm.
that little traitorous bitch and assassin in the desert,
Ansel.
Ansel.
Wait, what did you used to say her name was? Was it that one that you couldn't to say?
Yeah,
Ansel?
Ansel,
Ansel.
traitorous
Ansel.
little bitch.
Wait, can you clarify something for me? Because I'm a little confused with the witches.
Yep,
So, Kraken is the good ones?
yeah.
Okay, and then Iron Teeth.
It's like Baba Yellowlegs, who we met in Crown of Midnight, is a
Yep.
part of the Iron Teeth,
But that's Yellow Legs, Black Beaks, and the
and
Blue
Blue
Bloods.
Bloods.
So
Yes,
there's three kinds of Iron
Iron
Teeth
Teeth
witches.
witches.
And so
Yes,
far we only know of one of the Kroken is the other.
yes. There's
Okay.
only one. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes. And we knew they were going to kind of come into play because the king was all worried about Baba Yellowlegs' death, like at the
Yeah,
property when he wanted to use them for something. And obviously, we know what that something is as we end the end of this section, but we will cover that more later in a few chapters. But this is kind of
indeed.
just introducing us to one of the witches that's going to play heavily in the rest of the story.
Yay, Manon.
Manon.
It's going to be so fun to say now that I know it's Manon. I can't help but say it with an accent.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 5. Selena and Rowan journeyed in silence towards the Cambrian Mountains, marking the boundary between mortal Wendlin and Queen Maeve's immortal lands. The forest air thrummed with a metallic tang. We know this metallic tang.
Mm.
As they made camp for the night, Rowan's keen fey eyesight guided him effortlessly to a stream. Selena drank deeply from the water, finding it ancient, powerful, and delicious. She questioned Rowan about their lack of a campfire, asking about the risks in Wendland. He simply replied, "There's none for mortals." Selena noticed three sets of small, glowing eyes peering from a nearby boulder, recognizing them as the little folk.
Mm.
They had always known her and still recognized her true nature, leaving small gifts at campsites. She, however, ignored them, preferring to stay out of the oak-walled forest as much as possible. She wondered how much these creatures knew about the ongoing wars, the hunted fae and fairies, and the butchering of Terrason's sacred stags. Spotting more glowing eyes, she whispered, "They still live," sensing Rowan had been aware of their presence all along. In an instant, all the eyes vanished.
Well,
Finally getting to some magic, baby.
I know. The
I
little
love that
folk
this
there.
metallic tang is mentioned because isn't it also mentioned in Akatar?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like when he hits her like with the magic.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, metallic tang. Love
It's
that little
back,
connection there.
baby.
It's back, baby. They're on their journey. They're going to see Maeve, which is outside of Wendland. She has her own immortal lands, and there's these Cambrian mountains that border these two territories. So that's where they're on their way to.
Yep.
And this forest is filled with these fucking crazy creatures, and I'm dying to know what these little folk are, but I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
We'll see. But we know the magic is around and it's going to come out, and I can't fucking wait for it to.
So exciting. All right, chapter 6. We have a Dorian POV. Dorian is going to meet with his father while the king is eating breakfast. Dorian is playing it cool and even tempered now that he has a huge secret that he's keeping from the king, and he really doesn't want to be on his bad side now. The king finds his good behavior a bit strange, but uses it to his advantage, and as he tells Dorian that he'll be taking Adie and Ash River on a little day date. He tells Dorian that Adian's rage is useful and he is capable of keeping the people of Terrasen in line. He will not risk their slaughter since they have lost so much. That fear has stopped many rebellions. Dorian cannot even believe he shares blood with this man. On their day date, all Adian wanted to do was walk through the gardens, even though Dorian offered to show him the stables, the library, etc. But Adian didn't even speak to Dorian on their walk. He did, however, get Dorian to fall into a rose bush and got all cut up. The only sentence he said to Dorian when Dorian asked if he could take 6 men on was, "I don't think I should tell you in case your father ever decides my usefulness is not worth my temperament." Dorian then goes down to the healers to get stitched up from his run in with the rosebush and meets a healer, Sorsha. He's met her before. She had been the one to stitch him up and Kale, Selena, and Fleetfoot a month ago. She is very discreet and doesn't write down everything she sees when she treats them. We also get a little POV from Sorsha after Dorian leaves, and she's been in love with him for the past 6 years.
Wild.
Yes. This was just
He
like an
loves it.
interesting little like filler chapter, I guess.
Mm.
I guess you
Hmm.
learn a little bit more about Adian, and it
Yeah.
makes me feel like, is he actually slaughtering his people, or is he just keeping them in line with fear of losing more than they've already lost up north? And then also his, "I don't think I should tell you like what I can do in case your father ever decides my usefulness is not worth my temperament," which makes it seem like he can do a heck of a lot, is what
Yeah,
I
like
took from that.
something magical.
I don't know if it's something magical, but he probably is a badass fighter to have a group of soldiers that report to him that are called the Bane.
Yeah. Well, he's related to Selena, obviously on the Ash River side, which is the magic side, right?
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean he has magic, as we
That's true.
learn later in the chapters when we meet these like demi fae, that not all of
Hmm.
them possess power magic.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Interesting. I thought he was a douchebag.
I mean, he might be.
He might be like you don't know.
Just because someone seems good or seems bad doesn't mean that they're not still a douche.
That's true.
Also interesting that we finally meet the healer that's been healing Selena, Dorian, and Kale over the last couple of books. Her name's Sorsha, and she's a discreet little thing because she's in love with our prince.
I know. That's wild.
So I wonder who that will be. She's also writes a letter to a healer that she knows, and I'm like, I wonder who that could be.
Little Irene.
Maybe.
That's the only other healer I know. I don't know about you. You might know more, but not
But
me.
we will have to see where this all goes with that little tidbit
Yeah, I feel like obviously she's going to be maybe not like a main character, but she's going to be important if she has her own POV
and a name.
and a name. Yeah. And she's in love with Dorian. I see another love triangle in our future.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's just so crazy when I know things that you don't know, and I'm just
I
like,
know.
ah!
And your eyes like twitching a little bit. You're like,
Oh fuck. Okay,
we're
let's
almost
keep
there,
moving.
Megan. Actually, we figured out the other day. I've officially been through half of the Sarah J. Maas books. So
Yes.
I officially have 50% of the knowledge that you have.
Thank God.
Just give it one more year and I'll have all the knowledge.
Thank God. When we're on an even playing field will be the best day of my life. It's only been a 2-year fucking journey.
Only,
But
yeah.
I read all of these books in like a period of 4 months.
Literally. That's tough for you. I'm almost there.
Because I just want to say things and
I
then
know.
I can't, and then I'm afraid to slip up because I get excited about something and then I'll be like, fuck, I just ruined everything for her.
Honestly, I feel bad because if it was me that knew everything, I would just fucking forget and it would be all new again. But you know everything. But it's okay.
It's
We're
okay.
almost there.
Almost.
Only 8 books to go.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 7. Selena and Rowan continued their journey through the mountains and forests, encountering no further disturbances. Selena gradually grew accustomed to the nightly chill, the absence of a fire, and even the discomfort of pebbles pressing into her back as she slept. Ahead lay another week of endless forests and mists on their path to Doranel. A sharp, zinging current slapped against Selena's skin as they crossed a series of magical boards, signaling their arrival to every guard. As they entered the vast courtyard, Selena meticulously absorbed every detail, noting every exit and potential weakness. After a decade of dread, she finally stood face to face with her aunt, Queen Maeve, who greeted her with a chilling, "Hello, Aelin Galathinius." Wild.
Wild. It's
We're
like,
here. We're in a magical bordered area, and the
mhm.
Fays are everywhere.
Yeah, it's just so crazy because, like, a little bit down the line, like, we will just be calling Selena Aelin, and it's
I
just
know.
like, you no longer say Selena anymore, and it's just such a weird
I know.
feeling. So
I
I'll have to,
already am weirded out about it because
yeah,
Rowan calls her Aelin too.
yep.
I think I even wrote in my notes Aelin slash Selena because I'm like I don't even know what to call her in this part.
I know. Well, I guess technically you would still call her Selena because
Yeah,
that's what she's still thinking of herself as. But
yeah.
there will be a switch, and I just want to know how you'll feel when you no longer can say Selena anymore.
I know. Well, I feel like the switch is gonna be when it's like public knowledge that the daughter is alive.
Mm.
So I feel like it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be this book for sure, but is it gonna be the next section? Is it gonna
But
be
I
at the
will say
end?
it is weird when like Dorian and Kale start
Start
calling her
calling her.
her Aelin. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get over it quick.
Yeah. I'm already over it.
Yeah. Megan's like, it's been weird calling her Selena
Selena.
again.
Yeah. Chapter 8. Selena would rather be anywhere than in a room with Maeve, especially after Maeve called her Aelin, but Rowan blocks her path, preventing her escape. Selena describes Maeve as fearsome in her perfection, utterly still, eternal, and cold, radiating an ancient, almost untouchable grace. She is the dark haired sister to the fair Maeve. An owl perches silently behind Maeve, and Selena wonders whether it's a real owl or a fae in disguise. Though every instinct urges her to flee, Selena knows she needs answers. She forces herself to stay calm and bows low. Maeve smiles at her like a spider eyeing a fly caught in its web. We learn that Rowan is a prince descended from Maeve's sister, Mora, making him an extremely distant relative of Selena, connected only by the faintest thread of shared blood. Maeve claims she's been waiting a long time to meet Selena because Maeve never leaves this land. She has only been able to watch her from afar. She reveals
Hmm.
that Selena's parents defied her orders and eloped, mixing volatile bloodlines against Maeve's warning. Selena's mother had promised Maeve she'd be allowed to see her daughter once she was born, but promises were never kept.
Whoa.
Selena confesses she hasn't been able to access her magic on the continent, but now that she's in Maeve's realm, she wants to test her power. Still, every instinct screams at Selena to run. Maeve wants Selena to embrace her power, not suppress it as her mother wanted her to do. She points to the fate of Selena's parents as a cautionary tale. Maeve then admits she never stepped in 10 years ago, not because she couldn't, but because she doesn't tolerate being lied to. She knows why Selena has truly come to learn more about the word keys. Maeve says she will give her answers, but only once Selena proves herself worthy. She will train with Rowan here at Mistward. Maeve wants Selena to become who she was born to be, a queen.
Wow.
Unsurprisingly, Selena is not pleased with how this meeting ends. She's irritable on the way to her new quarters with Rowan. She goads him into a fight and he punches her, giving her a fat lip after she suggests she can understand why the King of Adarlan does what he does, if the Fae are anything like Rowan. They fight, he disarms her and takes her weapons. In the heat of anger, Selena thinks bitterly that Maeve will never truly understand what happened, that it wasn't Maeve, but the little princess from Terrasen who had damned them all a decade ago. Selena had abandoned the world and left it to burn into ash and dust.
Whoa.
So much to unpack in this chapter, and that was
Yes.
just like a short little snippet of like what the chapter was. But obviously, Selena is not taking well to being called Aelin,
Yeah.
but she's being respectful to
She's
Maeve.
like, who?
Who she wants to run, but Rowan is like, you're going nowhere, honey. But Selena is being respectful for now because she wants answers from Maeve, and Maeve knows that, so she's using it to her advantage to get Selena to do what she wants her to do.
Yeah, wait. So how does Maeve know that? She just has that power that she can read people's minds?
I guess like she can test people's powers, or maybe not test them, but she wants to see what Selena can do. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she knows what Selena's true power is, because I feel like she would have like just said that in the room. She wants to see what Selena can do, but Selena's
Yeah.
like, I haven't touched my powers in 10 years. Like, I don't even know how to access them. I have no control over them. So sorry, honey, you're shit out of luck because you're seeing nothing today.
Literally. But
So
like, how does she know that? How does she know that she wants to talk to her about the word keys?
because she has eyes like everywhere.
Oh, okay. So like
Yeah.
people are telling her. But did Selena even say that to anyone?
She told Kale on the docks.
She told Kale in the docks that she was going to see Maeve and
Well,
ask
not
about the word
see
keys.
Maeve, but that she was going to be looking into the word keys.
Oh, okay.
Because now
So she knows.
Kale knows about the word keys.
Okay. Okay. Because I was confused at that part. I'm like, is she a mind reader? Like, how the
She,
fuck does she
I
know?
can't exactly remember what the full extent of Maeve's powers are, but I just wouldn't put anything past her, and I'll
Okay.
leave it at that.
Okay.
She knows all.
She knows all. Got it.
But we know that Maeve did not want Aylin's mother or Selena's mother to marry her dad, and when they eloped behind her back. And so it's like, how did she know that they would have this volatile bloodline?
Hmm.
And why did the mom keep Selena away all these years? Obviously, for a reason, and Selena knows that. So that's why she's like, every instinct in me is telling me I need to
To
run, but
run. Yeah.
I need these answers. We learned that Rowan is a prince, that he comes from Mora's bloodline, the other sister, Mab, Mora,
Mm-hmm.
and Maeve.
So
And
is Adian from Mab's line, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So they're distant relatives too. Rowan and
Adian. I mean,
Adian.
but not really. Rowan is so old that there's probably a drop, if anything, of blood in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
relation to each
Right.
other at this point. So I guess technically, but
But they
not
all
really
spawn
at
from the
all.
sisters.
Yes.
Okay.
Rowan more directly than anybody, but
Right, because he's as old as them, basically.
yeah, he's old as
Okay.
shit. So basically, Mavis, like, if you want the answers that you've come here to get, you're going to have to prove yourself and not just show
Mm-hmm.
me your power. You're going to have to show me what you can do with your power. And in order to do that, you're going to train with Prince Rowan here at Mistward. And when he decides that you're ready, then you will come to me in Dornell and show me what you got. And then I'll decide if I give you the answers that you seek. And if I do, they will be truthful, because Selena make sure to add that in, that she would truthfully answer her questions.
Yeah, she knew the Fey ways.
Yes. Also, I bet you she did know that her parents were going to be murdered. And she's like, where were you 10 years ago? And she's like, I don't really appreciate being lied to. So she basically let the parents be slaughtered and didn't
Yeah.
step in because they lied to her.
I
So
definitely got that impression too.
she's a little vicious.
Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
wait, you said something specifically where I was like, ooh, she knew that was happening.
Oh, when she points to the fate of Selena's parents as a cautionary tale, like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, I think she probably knew that was going down and did nothing about it.
probably if she knows all, but she doesn't
Yeah.
leave her land, so she could be like, well, I just no one could get there in time.
She could have played a massive game of telephone and saved them, but
True,
she chose not
that
to.
is true,
So,
but Selena's pissed from this meeting because now she's like, I'm stuck here for God knows how long until Rowan decides that I'm worthy to go and show off my powers that I have no idea how to access, to show Maeve.
yeah.
And I have things to do. I have to like get these answers. I'm supposed to be murdering my other family members. I need to make sure Kale and Nehemia's families are staying alive before the King of Darlin murders everyone. So there's a lot on her back right now. And she's like,
Yeah,
I don't
she's got
have
a full
time to
plate.
sit here and play training with a Fey male that fucking hates me. But
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen.
Don't
But
blame
of
her.
course, she's all pissy. So if she's going to be pissy, then everyone's going to be pissy. So she pisses Rowan the
Yep.
fuck off, saying that she can see why the King of Adarlan has done what he's done to the Fey and magic wielders. And Rowan literally punches her straight in the fucking face,
Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck did you
splits
say,
her lip,
bitch?"
and
Whap.
she's like, he,
She deserved that though.
yeah, and
That was
she
a little
knows he
sassy.
held back. Like, he could have broke her fucking jaw.
Literally.
But he's like, you want to fight? All right, let's go. And she cannot take him. So it's kind of nice to see her, like, not in this, like, position of power and being
Yeah.
able to hold her own. She's definitely has a deficit here. And she really does
Mhm.
need this training. I think if she is going to take on the King of Adarlan, if anything, this is going to be so beneficial for her to be training with Rowan.
Yeah, I agree. And I think she should probably realize that. I know she's pissed off right now because she's not getting her way.
Yeah.
And she's always moody when that happens. But at the end of the day, she's the one that was seeing Galen Ash River and saying, like, oh, I'm only me. I can't do shit. This guy's got a whole army and he's still not making it dead. But, like, here's your opportunity,
Yeah,
bitch.
use every advantage. Like when you were pissed off,
Yeah,
you were sent off to the desert to be with the mute master, and Arabin brought in all these other tutors and trainers for you. Like you've utilized everything that you've learned. Like here is something that none of those people could have taught you, which is the magic
literally.
side of yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but she is feeling quite guilty, and she's feeling like it's because of her that everything went to ash and dust 10 years ago. So, we got to work through some mental health problems as well.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Chapter 9. Manon Blackbeak stood at a cliff's edge, leaning into the wind, the closest she gets to flying these days. Her grandmother, Mother Blackbeak, the High Witch of the Blackbeak clan, stood behind her. Manon was on guard duty, summoned by her grandmother, who was conversing with the Duke in a caravan surrounded by all 13 witches of Manon's coven. They had fought and flown together for a century, needing no weapons as they were born with their power. Mother Blackbeak had always maintained that Manon was born soulless and heartless, as a true Blackbeak should be. There were two prison wagons, one holding males and one holding females, both emitting a strange alien scent. Manon, over a century old, had only looked 16 until 10 years prior, but with the disappearance of magic, she now aged like a human, appearing to be in her mid 20s. Her grandmother, though still mesmerizing, was also beginning to show wrinkles. The matron declared it was time to depart. Other witches followed closely, disappointed that no Kraken witches had been found despite months of infiltrating towns. Manon anticipated public humiliation and physical punishment from her grandmother for this failure, as Mother Blackbeak enjoyed making a spectacle of such things. The matron then ordered them north, with 3 witches from the coven sent east, south, and west, to gather everyone and assemble in the Therian Gap. The Blackbeaks, Yellowlegs, and Bluebloods were always poised for a battle, but the 13 had never entered the former Witch Kingdom due to a curse from the last Kraken queen. Now, however, there was to be no provoking or fighting. Manon informed them that Baba Yellowlegs had been killed, with no explanation as to who or why. But Mother Blackbeak dismissed this, revealing that the King of Adarlan had invited them to the Farian Gap for a gift. Manon suspected a trap, but the matron assured her it wasn't. The king needed wyvern riders, and once their service was complete, the witches would be allowed to keep the beasts. They would finally fly again, not on enchanted ironwood brooms, but on wyverns, which would do just fine.
The
Wow.
wyverns are coming into play.
So wyverns are coming into play, and I love how literally the first line of this chapter is her saying, like, oh, this is the closest I'm gonna get to flying.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. Mwah, love it.
Mwah.
We meet Grandmother Blackbeak,
Yes, Mother
who is the
Blackbeak.
matron. Yeah, she is the High Witch of the Blackbeak clan.
Yes.
And she seems like a scary bitch too. I don't want to fuck with her. She brings news though.
Yes.
The Farian Gap is calling all of the witch clans, Yellowleg, Blue Bloods, and the Blackbeaks.
Yes.
Basically, the king needs fucking riders, and he knew who to fucking call.
Yeah, the Iron Teeth
Honestly,
Witches.
yeah, and I think it's mostly because he's trying to stop them from killing him for killing Baba Yellowlegs, but sure. Let's invite them and give them giant dragons to ride.
Yeah.
This is crazy, and I'm like kind of scared, but also like, how is this gonna play out? I don't know. The Manon 13
Well,
too
I think they're just
scares the
called
shit
the
out of me.
13.
The
Yeah.
13. Okay. The 13, yeah, because it includes Manon.
Yeah.
So we got all of these different kinds of clan witches together who normally fight. So that should be interesting when we get to that part. But we'll see how they do with these wyverns.
Whoa.
Wild.
I know. It's so weird to go from Empyrean to this world and back because when I obviously read this first, so when we read Wyvern and the Empyrean series, I was like, I know what that is.
Yeah, I read Fourth Wing first. So I'm so backwards with like even the wards. I was like, oh, I know what magical wards are because they have wards, obviously, too. But and then the wyvern, I was like, oh.
But it's funny because like if you've been in my car, there is a specific Wyvern that sat in there for the longest
Mm-hmm.
time.
We meet him later in this chapter, don't
No, we
we?
do not.
Oh, we do not, darling. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, not yet, darling.
Not yet, darling.
All right, chapter 10. Kale had a long day of training new recruits and avoiding Dorian and trying to avoid the king from watching him too closely. When Kale was on his way to his rooms, he noticed that there were two missing guards from the outside of their station at the Great Hall. The two guards standing there were newer, and they didn't want to rat out their friends, but they had gone to Adie and Ashover's party. Kale takes off to go drag them back, and he arrives at a tavern that Adian had completely rented out. He sends his guards home, waiting to see how he will punish them later, and stalks off to go tell off Adian. But no matter who he asks, no one seems to know where exactly Adian was. It seemed that Adian had left his own party early. Kale needed to talk to Adian about when his men the Bane came into town because he needed him to keep them under control so that no one questioned Kale why he sometimes was unavailable or where he disappeared to. But he needed to find leverage on Adian so he would work with him. We shall see how this all works out.
We shall see. We shall see.
But interesting that Kale is like frantically trying to find Adian at his own party and like, oh, he's upstairs with these women. Oh, he's playing cards with this person. Oh, he's doing that. But he is not at his party. Was he
Yeah.
even there ever? Or what is going on?
Yeah, he's weird.
Hmm.
What the fuck is he up to?
We'll find out soon.
We will. I hope so. I need to know.
Yes, but just a short little chapter of Kale trying to chase Adian around and Adian's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and his useless guards
Yes.
who just leave their post. Oh, I can't. Chapter 11. Selena awoke freezing in her room, finding a tin of salve with a note from Rowan, implying her training must have gone well. She deserved it. Despite her relief, her wet hair intensified the cold. Her loose ring, a reminder of Kale, brought a new realization. Nehemia's death wasn't Kale's fault, as Nehemia had orchestrated it. However, his continued loyalty to the king, that monster, and his lie still stung. Grateful for the warmth and pleasant smells, Selena welcomed kitchen duty. Rowan introduced her to Emery's, the head chef, and young sous chef, Luca, her new breakfast shift partners. Emery's inquired about her facial injuries, but Luca simply stated, "A darling will do that to a person." Selena, introducing herself as Alentia, declared her readiness for exhaustion, hoping to prevent dreams. Breakfast was chaotic, but she found a moment to eat, devouring her food with a voracity that pleased Emery's. Selena saw a light in Emery's and Luca, but hers felt dim, echoing Nehemia's plea not to let her light extinguish. Luca remarked that Selena must be very important or very unlucky to train with Rowan for Doranel, a goal that they all shared, though he felt years away from being worthy. Time being a luxury Selena didn't possess. Emery's, who trained there at 15 for 10 years, but was never deemed worthy, eventually chose a home with his mate instead of shooting for entrance to Doranel. Luca noted Selena looked human, but she simply stated she wasn't half, offering no further details. Neither Emery's nor Luca could shift forms or wield magic. If they could, they'd likely be conscripted by Maeve. Emery's mate, Malachi, and a few other sentries, however, could shift to a secondary form. Selena's thoughts drifted to gods and goddesses, observing figurines that seemed to call to her. When she asked about Rowan, they described him as a quiet, reclusive, ancient, stone cold killer. But Selena asserted she could handle him. A poignant realization settled over her. She could no longer remember what it felt like to be truly free. That's got to be a
Because
sad
you
realization.
never have been, bitch.
Literally. But we have lots of realizations in this chapter, actually.
Yeah.
She's thinking that Nehemiah's death was orchestrated, so it's not Kale's fault, but he still lied to her and he's still loyal to that monster of a king. So,
Yes.
still stings.
Yeah.
She has kitchen duty now, so we meet Emery's and Luca,
Their
who are her new breakfast
characters.
buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Emery's is the head chef who has a mate, Malachi.
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting, though, that they say all of them are trying to get into Doranel
Yeah. There's a bunch
in
of
training.
border posts, I guess, that have people just like them that are these demi-fae who are half fae, half human that are trying to prove their worth to Maeve to be able to live in her fae city of Dornell, which is awful,
Yeah,
actually.
I know. But also, they don't have any powers, even though they're half Fae.
Some of them have little powers, like they can, I think they said, like, make crops grow or do
Right.
small things, but like nothing that Maeve finds useful enough for them to live in her city.
Yeah, because she snatches everybody up that has more powers, basically, to live in Doranel.
Yes. But it seems
Got
like
it.
they built this nice little home, or Emery's has, with his mate here in Mistward, and it seems like a nice little community. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. They're safe from a Darlin, so fuck.
That's true
I'll
for
stay
now.
here. Yeah, for now. I think we chatted about this a little bit already, but Selena's saying she wasn't half,
Yeah,
which is interesting because she is half.
I think so. Yeah, from like half from her mom's side, and I think her dad's side's just human, but I don't
So
know.
she
Maybe not.
wants these people to think she's just human.
I guess, yeah, because maybe she doesn't want them to know, but like they know she's important in order to be
Yeah, be
training with
training with
Rowan.
Rowan, right? Which kind of gives it away. But she also doesn't use her real name. Well,
No,
one of her real names.
she has so many names.
I know. She uses Alentia, which is actually the name that Nehemia gave her.
Yeah.
So,
Is she Fae through her dad's side too? Because Brannon was the king of Terrasen, who was the dad of Elena, who was half Fae, right?
hmm
But was Brannon Fae? I think so. I don't know. I need to do a whole family tree plot.
yeah, because that just confused the shit out of me. I thought at first that she was full Fae and only played human,
Hmm.
or not played human, but like was in her human form was her shift. So
Yeah.
she wasn't actually human at all.
Yeah.
But I know she has human ancestors as well. So,
Yes. Because Elena was half Fae. That's where Dorian's magic comes from. From
hmm
Brannon, who was the first king of Terrasen, who was obviously related to Elena in some way, and not through her mother's side, which is the Ash River, which is from Mab. So I feel like
mm,
maybe if she is technically half, there's still like more magic in the line than like a normal half. I have no idea.
yeah. Anyways, she didn't want
Anyhow,
them to know she was
yeah,
magical. We pondered about that long enough.
it's too late to continue to think on that. We'll get back to you
Yeah.
next episode.
We'll get back to you. Yeah. When? I don't know, because we're fucking so busy. We don't even have time to fucking eat. But here
Yeah,
we are.
here we are. Chapter 12. We're back with the Iron Teeth Witches. The Blackbeak clan is the last to arrive at the Farian Gap under the strict orders to avoid fighting. So when Manon catches her second in a showdown with the Yellowlegs Witch, she punishes her accordingly. The Yellowlegs heir, Iskra, however, does not have any consequences for one of her sentinels, a fact that doesn't go unnoticed and reflects poorly on her leadership. A hollow memorial service is held for Baba Yellowlegs, though no one knows or admits to knowing who killed her. Manon and the rest of the 13 try to gather information, listening carefully, but come away with nothing. Manon also notices the Blue Blood Witches, who are rarely seen, always hidden away performing their rituals. While they may have played a role in creating the Iron Teeth Witches as a whole, it was the Blackbeaks who won the battles for them. When Manon heads to meet with the humans to view the wyverns, she notices something off about the stone. It carries the same unnatural scent as the prisoners, ones that were held by the Duke. She also learns that the new Yellowlegs matron is Baba Yellowleg's half sister, and that the Blue Blood matron wears a crown of barbed iron stars. The Blue Blood heir is named Petra. So we're just meeting some more of the clan here.
Hmm.
Manon harbors a deep dislike for Iskra, the Yellowlegs heir, and fantasizes about killing her, but knows that acting without cause would mean her own death. Manon, ever the warrior, carries a blade called Wind Cleaver. The witches are taken to the wyvern breeding grounds. The hatcheries are located deep within the mountain, with the dens one level above. Wyverns are kept separated by gender and type. Bulls are isolated unless needed for breeding. Though the bulls are prized as the strongest, the females are known to be just as fierce. Training pits allow the gentler wyverns to help the others learn to fight. None are culled, every wyvern is used.
Ugh, I hated that part.
I know. Once the witches become confident in training and flying, they'll be allowed to choose their own mounts. Some witches take offense at the implication they're natural born flyers after all. Wyverns, it said, can fly hundreds of miles in a day and still be ready for a fight. Manon is introduced to a massive bull named Titus, brutal, dominant, and the fiercest of them all. She decides on the spot it's him or nothing.
Fitting for what we know about Manon already.
Yes. So interesting to see that it's like a little summer camp for this Iron Teeth clan. They're all
Yeah.
gathered together, living on different levels of the mountain. I think the Blue Bloods got there first and took the top because they aren't really around. You do see more of the Yellow Legs and the Black
Hmm.
Beaks instead of the Blue Bloods, but we learned that the Yellow Legs heir is now Iskra because they have a new heir or matron now that Baba Yellow Legs is dead. And
Which is
we,
also her half sister, right?
yes.
Half sister.
And then the blue blood heir is named Petra. So you have Manon, Petra, and Iskra, who are kind of standing behind their matrons, and then the rest of their kind of like inner circle watching their backs as they're going over to look at these wyvern for the first time. So we
Yeah.
get to learn how they're created. They have the hatcheries, how they're separated, how they're training them, which Amanda does not like.
No.
It was referred to as dog fighting, is how they
Yeah.
teach these wyvern to fight using the
Ugh,
weaker wyverns.
which is so sad.
It is really sad.
I don't like that at all, even though they're fake magical creatures.
Well,
That's
they're
rude.
it says that they're breeding them, so in this story, it seems like they are hatched. So, which
Hmm.
seems like a little bit different from the Empyrean series, but still, it is sad. They have feelings. And then at the end of this chapter, we get to meet one of the bulls, Titus, and Manon is like, "That one is mine. You're coming home with me." But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
I don't have too much to say about this. Just interesting to see the dynamics between the clans, and it seems like it's going to be a little testy for them.
Yeah,
They're
they're already
already
fighting.
fighting, already getting in trouble
Yeah.
for fighting. And if Manon
Hmm.
could kill the Yellow Legs heir, she would because she does not like her.
Yep. I wouldn't put it past
Yeah,
her either.
she'll find a way.
Watch
Yeah.
your back. Hey, scroll. Chapter 13 and the last chapter of the episode. After finishing her kitchen duty with Emrys and Luca, Selena was personally collected by Rowan for a training session. In the middle of the forest, Rowan instructed her to shift, but Selena, lacking any control over her shifting abilities, refused. Rowan then attacked her, proving to be her match as he effortlessly pins her down, leaving her no chance of escape. Rowan berated her, calling her uncontrolled, undisciplined, and a spoiled child. He then struck a nerve by calling her a coward, the last thing Nehemia had said to her before she died, causing Selena to go numb. When she didn't rise, he continued to taunt her, labeling her spineless and pathetic. Selena tried to access her inner monster, but found only cobwebs and ashes. Rowan then led Selena to the edge of a grassy plateau, dotted with ancient tombs of long dead lords and princes, each marked by a stone threshold and sealed iron door. He challenged her. If she could cross the field, navigating through the lurking wights, who rarely appeared in daylight, he would take her to Doranel. Despite the terrifying atmosphere that made her long for sunlight and escape, Selena, believing whites couldn't be worse than what she'd already faced, stepped onto the dead field.
Well,
What a good spot to end at.
cliffhanger.
Tenga, thank you, Megan.
You're welcome, darling.
We're finally training magic, or at least trying.
Yes.
And we find out that Selena really has no control. Well, we don't find out. We already know. She can't shift on the spot. She can't do what he's asking her to do, basically. So instead of using her words, she is just a stubborn little bitch
Yeah.
and refuses. She's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Too bad. So he's like, okay, well, then I'll beat your ass.
Yeah.
Pins her down, and she has met her match. She can't fucking fight back. There's no escaping this. She can't leave. So she's like, you know what? Whatever. And he starts going at her.
Yeah.
And obviously strikes a nerve with the word coward.
Oh, for sure. You even
She
said when you read that,
completely-
you were like, oof.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's almost like he talked to Nehemia. I feel like he literally said exactly what she said.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't happen.
No.
Well, it could have happened, but who knows? She tries to access her little demon inside of her, but she gets nothing, just ashes. So
Yeah.
instead, we shift gears
Mm-hmm.
and we're headed to this grassy plateau that apparently is an ancient tomb of long dead lords and princes, and they're sealed behind these iron doors, which freaked me out. But also I was like, okay, so how is she gonna be in danger if they're locked behind these sealed doors?
I think it's like creatures that she's in danger from.
Oh, okay, so not the dead things.
I don't think so.
It's creatures lurking in these fields.
I think so.
Or these whites.
Yeah. I don't exactly.
What is a white?
I
Can you explain it to me?
I don't exactly remember what it is, but we
Okay.
will probably meet them in our next section.
We just didn't get
A description.
really any description. So
No.
I'm like, what the fuck's a white? I couldn't even say it at first.
I know.
I felt
really
like I had a
remember.
lisp. Well, we know they don't come out in the daylight. She's like, whatever. What could be worse than these fucking things?
Well, I mean, he's saying, if you cross this fields, I will take you there right now. And I'm thinking, like, it's not as easy as she is thinking it's
yeah,
going to be.
and she recognizes it. She says, like, she knows this is a trap.
Yeah.
But she's like, whatever. At this point, I feel low. I'm a coward. I'm worthless. I'm pathetic. I'm numb. So fuck it. What could literally happen? Let's go play with some whites.
Let's do
And
it.
she goes. She steps onto the field, and we have to wait till next week to find out what happens.
Yes.
But before we close this episode, I had to throw in a couple predictions.
Yes.
They're really light so far, but my first prediction is I obviously don't think Selena will make it through the field the first go around. It can't be that easy for her to get into Doranel, but I do think Rowan will be impressed with her efforts.
Okay.
And they might find some common ground.
Hopefully.
And 2, I think Selena will definitely learn to be able to shift, and I do believe it's going to be in the next set of chapters.
Oh, you have all the faith in our girl.
I do have all the faith. Heir of Fire is the fucking name of the book. Like, she has to manifest her power again or learn to control it. And then I started thinking, there's so much going on with the witches, the king, Maeve, Adian. She's got to get these powers sooner or later.
Yeah.
So I voted for sooner.
Okay.
Hopefully in the next 100 pages, or I'll be wrong. But we'll see.
We'll see.
And that's all we have for you today. Please let us know what you think by leaving us a review and comments on any of the platforms you are listening/watching on, or on our social media pages. This helps tremendously to get the word out and lead more listeners to find our show and tune in. And come join our book club Discord. You can find the link in our bios on Insta and TikTok. And this month we are reading Shield of Sparrows by Debbie Perry. We love chatting with you guys, so don't be shy.
Don't forget to email, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and tell all your friends about us. And we hope the rest of your day is blissful. Bye!
Thank you so much for listening. Join us next week for part 2 of Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas, covering chapters 14 through 25. Happy reading!